Hi there and welcome back to a new video. I'm Lisa and today I am going to be creating a new journal. I need one for our upcoming Florida trip. Whilst this video goes out, we will actually be in Orlando and I want to come home and start documenting our stories straight away, so I want to get this journal ready before I go. I am denied. I did speak to you guys, not knowing which book to use, and I've ended up going for this one. I was gonna do this Small World, I'll show you actually. I was gonna use It's a Small World. As you can see, it is a bit of a tinsy book. I did think about doing it, but we're going away on a big family 3-week trip. I know I'm gonna have a ton of stories to tell, loads of memorabilia, and I just don't think it's all going to fit in here, if I'm totally honest. So I'm being realistic and I'm heading into a large journal. So I'll talk to you about it whilst I get on with it. I want to crack on with it actually and get going. So I think I will just start straight away and talk to you whilst I do it. So you'd have seen me probably made these types of books loads of times now. I absolutely love them. They just make me so happy. This is a set that I found on eBay. I think I paid £15. I've also got these two and another one which I've actually got on display downstairs and the whole way because I love the stories so much. But I decided these three I would actually use for journaling. So this one I decided what Disneyland's Fantasyland would be a good one for this trip. So I want to take out the spine. I haven't made all of my decisions yet. So some of the things I will be deciding on the go. I quite like a little bit of spontaneousness sometimes. Let's take this off. Not using the spine at the moment. Has the spine got anything on it? Yes, it has. I will be using that later. But for now, we need to make that spine larger because I know from experience it's going to be a chunky journal. Oh, I've just had another idea actually. Let's just tidy that up. I'm going to grab some fabric because I also know from experience that quite often I struggle to close these journals. So let's pop some fabric, and I have got the perfect fabric there. I'm going to use that. This will be fun. It doesn't matter that it needs a good iron. That is fine. But I love the little yellow dots, and this kind of thing doesn't have to be perfect either. We're just going to be attaching this to the inside of the cover to tie up. Now, is one enough? No. I was wondering if I could cut that in half, but no. Let's play it safe. I do two, and I'll show you what I'm doing with these in a bit. Like I said, it doesn't have to be neat and tidy, that's fine. And I now need some cardboard for my spine. So I'm not going to go in great detail about how this one is going to be made, just purely because I only did a little golden book the other day. Whoops, let's make this straight. So this is just one that I'm just creating with you for fun. So I'll leave a link to that video down below. This one's just going to be for fun. And we're going to chat while I make it. I will be doing a charm with this one, which I'm really looking forward to. And I think we'll be sort of focusing on other bits and pieces for this one. I'm also not going to go crazy with loads and loads of different pages. I want to keep this one quite neutral inside, just to give me more options when it comes to the journaling side. So I've chosen more kind of neutral. Whoops, that's gone a bit wonky, never mind. Oh, I tell you what I do need. I just realised I need some tape. We're going to cut that down there. And obviously the wider the spine, the larger the journal, and the more you'll be able to add. And I always say over exaggerate it. I don't think that's large enough actually. No, I think that'll be fine. I think that will be okay. I'm going to use some tape. I always say whatever you think, just then go a little bit larger. I think that's still a decent size, isn't it? It's not the end of the world that that's cut wonky. And we're just going to add some tape. Just normal parcel tape, nothing special. Oh, I haven't even chosen the fabric for the spine. I just realised that I've just kind of jumped straight in with lots of excitement. And then we've got a good spine. This is quite a nice size actually. It's not huge, but it's definitely not tiny. More of this one actually, which is slightly less creased. I might actually go with this. Right, so I think that would be really, really cute. We want to pop it over and down here. Right. I've got my fabric here, and the next thing I am going to use is this red tape, super strong tape. I'll leave a link to it. It's in my Amazon storefront, and it is so good for fabric. I've actually stopped using glue since using this. It's that good, but just be warned, it's very sticky and you can't really reposition it. So once something's in place, it's well and truly in place. I'd love to hear, what's the last journal that you made or started? Have you made one? Is this the first one you're planning to make? Do you make them regular? What do you tend to use? Do you do this kind of technique as well? Do you do something different? And what kind of books do you like to use? Or like me, do you like to vary them? I like to keep them varied. It makes it a bit more fun for me. And I love hunting for new ones to use just as much as I do actually making them. Oh, I think we're just about done. That was well timed. And let's lay this out. I have actually got more tape than I have fabric on this, but I'm going to be putting like other bits and pieces over lace and stuff like that, so it's fine. Then we can pull that over to help with those creases as well. It's actually worked out okay in the end. Don't worry about the side bits. Like I said, we will be popping stuff over on those. And then we're going to do exactly the same on this with the red tape. I need to go and get some more red tape actually. I've just been and made myself a cuppa whilst I went down for my red tape. I don't think you can see this. I have got old Key West mug. It's such a cute mug. I have to drink my tea when it's really, really hot. Coffee I can drink when it's a bit cooler. But tea, it has to be scalding, otherwise I just don't drink it anymore. That's why I never usually drink to the end of my tea, because I only like it when it's really, really hot. So I generally leave the last bit because it's not quite hot enough. My sister just gulps it when it's like volcanic heat. I don't know how she does that. She drinks her tea so quickly. Right, let's pop these bits over. And this one as well. I've chosen some paper to go down the centre. So I am going to trim that. I might actually just trim it with this, to be honest. Let's do that rather than use the trimmer. Just laziness on my behalf, nothing else. And this side as well. There. And then, oh, that's nice on the way back. On the way back? On the back. Oh, I like that. That's really pretty. This is an old American Crafts paper called Sun Chaser. I like that. That is very sweet. I'm going to be popping something on the edge there, so that's why I wasn't that fussed. I'm going to use the same tape actually. Let's use a wider one this time. Just so that I know it's stuck down nicely. I just trust this stuff so much. And now I'm ready to pop this down. Oops, on place. Remember, it's not very repositionable, this tape. Oh, let's try that again. Yeah, that's a bit better. Not quite that good. I should have lifted it slightly higher, but I didn't want to go damaging it. But by the time we've got our signatures in, our pages, we're not really going to notice. Right. Let's crease that in. I might just grab my paper creaser. Have to be careful doing this. I have torn the paper before by doing this. There we go. I think the thing is with this kind of journal as well, we're making a junk journal at the end of the day. It doesn't have to be perfect. It really doesn't, so don't panic too much. And look, could you even tell that that was creased? No, you couldn't. Now, let's plug the hot glue gun in for the next part. Some very good choices. I think my number one choice would have been this maybe, but it's not quite big enough. Kind of is, but it kind of isn't. I say it's not quite big enough because I've only got that for the back, and I kind of wanted it to match. I might keep that as a possibility. I do really love that. Right, I have just found this yellow. Look how cool this is. That makes me very happy. I wonder about having some gingham followed by the yellow. I really enjoy doing this kind of thing, by the way. That is a nice choice. I love the yellow. I want to brighten it up a bit. That's my number one choice, I think, at the moment. I have got this. I've put this out just to show you. Wrong colours, but look how fun. That would have been my top choice. That is so fun. I need to fold that up to put that back. I've got a wide yellow. I might use that inside for something. I have got this red trim that's feeling a bit Christmassy for me. Got yellow pom-poms that I love, a bit more red. Oh, also I've got this, which I love. It does go very well. Reminds me a bit of Frozen, a bit of Anna and Elsa type thing. I do like that. That is very cool. It's almost maybe a bit busy next to that one though. I have got this, which is fun. Very nice. I feel like I need something a little bit wider. I have got some lace, which I love as well. I'm thinking about this. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the red and then pop on the yellow as well. That is my chosen. This is exciting. Right, let's start with the hot glue gun just along the edge. So we'll stick the gingham on first. It covers that nice join then. I do it in two parts so it's nice and tidy. I think it's these little extra bits that really make a difference to a journal. It's not quite straight, but it's not the end of the world. And then I am going to add, oh, it's got bead on there, I just noticed that. Where's that from? That's So cool. Then we'll add the yellow onto that. I really, really love that. That is so cool. So we start at the top end again. And just running that alongside the gingham there. Pearl, it was, I thought it was a bead. It was an enamel dot. They get everywhere, don't they? We went and got in the car the other day and Aid took one off the driveway, apparently. He said, "Is this yours?" And I must have had one stuck to me and just took it outside. Oh, made a bit of a mess there. Quickly move that. I love this trim. That's really, really brightened that up. It's so cute. What a difference that makes. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the back. This was such a good choice. It's really, really cheered this green up. Let's move into the inside. What are we going to use on the inside? I feel something a bit flatter maybe. I also want to do something because I want to attach my fabric inside to be able to close this. To use this ribbon here, again bearing in mind that a lot of this we won't see because we will have our journaling pages inside. So I am going to grab the hot glue gun again. I'm not bothered about the fray bits. I love fray bits. Let's do it this side actually. So my first thing to do is to add the ribbon to secure that in. I want the fabric print on the other side so that I can see that on the journal. And I want to make sure that was a bad move. That wasn't a good idea. Oh, can I pull it forward? I should have done that before. Might just be okay actually. Yes. Let's make sure that's nice and secure. Excellent. So that when that's open we can see the print there. I like that. So now, yeah, I think I will use, I was wondering whether to use the tape, but no, let's use the hot glue gun. At least I know it's definitely staying. Let's grab this. Maybe this ribbon wasn't such a good choice. I can actually see through it. I thought I might be okay. I think it will be fine. It's only paper at the end of the day, isn't it? It's not heart surgery. Right, yeah, I'm going to do the same on the other side. We have the carcass of our journal. And I've popped ribbon either side. I do want to pop, I should have done it before I laid in the paper. I do want to add something. So I'm just choosing my pages now for my signatures. Just unpicking these. There's some really lovely ones here. So I'm just going to choose some of these to go inside. Let's take this one. This one reminded me of Big Thunder Mountain. That's what caught my eye with this one. Oh, I love that. That's so cool. That reminds me of Tom Sawyer Island, which they're moving, or they're getting rid of, I should say, not moving. I feel gutted about that. These are beautiful. Oh, Dumbo, let's have a Dumbo. I don't think I rode Dumbo with my mum last time. Oh, that's a nice one. Where's the middle page? Let's take this one out. Found an easier way. With the craft knife. They come out much easier this way. So I have taken some pages from this composition book and also from this old music book. I'm just folding them down like that. And I'm still wondering 2 or 3 signatures. Let's have a look at the journal. Right, it's a nice size space for. Thing is, oh, I need a larger piece. I've got a scrap piece of paper here, and I am about to make my template. The idea is it needs to fit right in there. So it replicates the spine like that. That wasn't very good. Right, so then we are going to fold this over, and again, and again. I am leaning towards 3 signatures actually. I think that will be easier. I'm folding that into the middle. Again, if you want to see this in more detail, head on over to my little golden book journal. I am also going to mark them out. I find this a lot easier to do. Mark out where I want to do my holes. Like that. And then we're going to pin that in place, clip it in place. Just make sure it is central. So yeah, we're definitely going for 3. I've got my tool binding kit ready. And now I'm just going to quickly decide on my journal pages and put them all together and decide if I want some extra ones. I think I'm going to go, because I always add flips and flaps. Let's do maybe 5 per. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, park maps. Let's add park maps. Now, thinking about it, we're going to need our travel day. Probably some of this I will actually cut up anyway, but I really like this one actually. No, I think that one's more Magic Kingdom. Right, I'm changing my mind here. Let's do this, Magic Kingdom park map. This book's a good size, by the way. I like this. Like that. Oh, yeah, that's right. Cool. And how many pages does that give us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think 1 more Disney. Let's do an Epcot as well. Epcot's going to play a big part in this trip too. And I'm going to add 1 more to that. There. That's our first one. I'm going to tidy that up again in a moment. Right, on to the next one. 1, 2. Let's add a park map. Let's add Animal Kingdom. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm going to go with that one. And then the final one. I don't like that angry picture, but I will cover that up. I know that when I'm actually doing it. my 3 signatures. The signatures are the little booklets to go inside. I've got a feeling they're too thick. I just got that feeling. I might have to thin them out. Let's have a look. How do they lay in here? Might just need to trim the pages very slightly as well. But we can do that afterwards, that's fine. I was thinking actually about adding pom-pom trim on the end. I've just remembered that. Let's do that now. I was wanting to add it on there. I think that will look really nice. Still got this plugged in. How cute that looks. I love that trim, and I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. Now to decide what colour thread to go with. We have the green, which goes nicely. Won't do the yellow, but we do also have the red. I'm actually thinking the red rather than the green. Let's go with the red. I don't want it just, my worry is I don't want it to look too Christmassy. I think I'm going to go with the red though. These, by the way, are wax threads. They are super strong, really easy to use, perfect for bookbinding. This little set cost me about £10, so I'll leave the link to it down below, and also the little bookbinding kit that I'm about to use as well. That was also about £10. Right, the first thing I'm going to do is take my paper piercer and put this through. Go careful, I say this every time, this thing is so sharp, it goes through like butter. It's amazing, this thing. I could not do this without this tool, but it's lethal, so go careful. Watch out for furniture, watch out for small hands if you've got a younger person with you wanting to help. And if you have got a younger person wanting to make a journal, just make sure they've got a grown-up with them, because it can be quite dangerous. Okay, we want 2 and a bit. Just going to do one at a time. I always get anxious doing this. Let me know if you do too. Right, we're starting off with this one. I just want to double check that everything is in order, everything's up the correct way. I'll put that out so it doesn't get caught. Yep, that's all fine. I am happy with that. I am now going to take this off and use the template again to put the holes through. Then we have got our jumbo needles. Again, I could not do this without these. By the way, it's super windy outside, so I apologise if you can hear it. I want the thread on the inside. I like to do this in layers. I find it so much easier. Like that. Making sure it's going through the right one. We should have 2 left to each side. Yep. And then through this side. There we go, we have the first one. Love that. Now on to the second one, just checking that everything is neat and tidy. This has turned out to be such a good journal. I'm not going to add trimmings or anything, tab tops, anything like that, because I'll do that as I go through the journal. I do want to add though, I was thinking about adding, I've got these, I'll do these as an add gifted because they are sent to me by Paper Maze 2024, I think. I am going to add some Mod Podge over these, just so I know that they're stuck properly. This stuff is so good. Just pop that, it dries clear. My paintbrush is really hard. This isn't working very well. Right, it would help if I had a decent paintbrush. I thought it would be fine. I picked up an older one thinking, oh, it's fine, but it wasn't. There. That would be fine now. Let's leave that to dry. Maybe I should have done that at the end. There we go. At least I know they're not going anywhere. Right, I realised I didn't add any beads or anything like that. Usually I do. I completely forgot. I'm really loving this. I did add that little flat back gem on there with a bit of hot glue gun. Right, I think the next thing I would like to add is my charms. Let's do that in the middle there. Let's just add a hole through. I have realised that this is there, so that's centre on there. That needs to poke through. I'll leave a link to these below, by the way, and then I will just pop something on the outside. It's not actually too bad, actually. So now on to the charms. This is the fun bit. I'm going to take, oh, I'll tell you what, I do need the little ring. So just make sure that opens okay. Oh, that's a stiff one. I don't think I can use that one. So that will clip on there. Excellent. And I'm going to use the same thread. I'm just going to tie this on it. I like having bits hanging over, so I'm going to keep that on there and then just simply tie on bits and pieces. I was gifted this, isn't that cute? I'm going to keep the twine on there. I think that really adds to it, and we're just going to tie loads of things to this. This was I got the idea from doing this from Leah from Thrifty Day. I just thought it was such a cute idea, and I've made a couple now and I really enjoy them. I just think they look so cute. Oh, I'll tell you what else as well. We have got some beads as well here that I want to add. Kind of want to stick with the colours. Oh, these ones are nice. Might need to get my jewellery making kit actually, although let's see if I can tie this to here. And then I'm just gonna tie on some beads as well, and we're just going to tie on lots and lots of bits and pieces and have them all hanging on. I found a little bell. I love that, that's so cute. I found a rose that reminded me of Beauty and the Beast. I wanted lots of things to remind me of Disney. Oh, buttons are another good thing. Oh, I like that. What else have I got? Let's tie a big knot on the end here, and we can have the wooden knots on the end. That is our first charm. I'm going to add another one, and you just want to keep adding to it. And the good thing is with this, you can then just easily remove it when it comes to you wanting to journal. That was a good length actually, I like that length. Something I am doing is cutting little bits of, whoops, I dropped them all over, little bits of necklaces up. These were really old necklaces of mine. You can pick them up in charity shops as well. Quite often they're about £1, but don't think of them obviously in terms of a necklace, but think of them as the beads. It's like treasure. That's you can find some good stuff that way. Just want loads of pretty dangly things. I've got this as well left over. It was actually from a key ring that Aid bought me, but it kind of like the screws came off. He bought another replacement. I've still got it on my keys now. So that feels quite special. Definitely a nice Disney one. I have also got this. Is so cute. I might do that on the next one. I think I'll do 4 of these. Oh, I've got a bead as well, a Disney bead. Add a little bit more colour to this. I'm definitely kind of like keeping in with the greens and all that. I'm liking how this is going actually, and I'm glad I went with the red thread. I think that really adds well to it. Oh, I was going to add this. I did that for my last one and then I forgot to use it. I actually coloured it in. It was wood, and I thought, oh, that would be a nice idea, and I forgot all about it. So I could actually add that as well. So what you want to do is just make sure that your knots are large enough to stop the beads from falling down. You want to hold them in place. Finally, that one worked. Let's add this one as well. This one just came off that necklace. Oh, there's a good little loop there in the top. I'm liking adding the wooden beads from a bracelet on the bottom of each one as well. I think that looks really nice. It's quite nice to have them all kind of like ending the same as well. I like that. Oh, I was going to look at doing this. I don't think I will use that actually. I have done that on some of my other ones. No, I'll leave that. How's this one going? Right, let's add another wooden bead on the bottom there. I still didn't use that. But I have finished my jangly janglies. Look how cute. I love them against the white fabric actually. Really, really nice. I love how cute these are. I've got a camera charm. I've got some Mickey beads. Loads of bits of old necklaces. There's a button there. The key that was gifted to me. My bit of key ring. These are from an old necklace of mine. Loads and loads of fun bits. I loved that necklace there. Loads of fun bits. And I found a bell. These are so cool. And then the great thing is that when it comes to wanting to journal, we can just clip these off and lay the journal down, and I love that jangle. I think I'm going to want bells on all of them now. And that's easy to put on. Look how cute that looks. I am going to finish this journal. I'm really happy with this. I just want to do a little bit of trimmings. That one is fine. Where's this one coming from? There. Oh, I think let's just tie that back up again. But I didn't want to, in some of them you see that I've like done tab tops and all sorts. I want to let myself have the freedom to do that as and when I journal. But I'm really pleased, and it's going to be so nice to have a journal when I get back off our trip and I can start documenting straight away. Love the fabric there. Let's just trim that as well. This might be one of my favourites I have ever made. It is so cute. What do you think? Should we do a quick flip through? I love that. So we've got our fabric to keep it together. I love the 2024 on there. And then this has just gone really well. I am so pleased with it. All ready for me to add our stories. Love the paper. It doesn't put me off the thought of journaling on it. I'm quite happy to work with that. And we've got a decent amount of pages as well, but I know I'll add loads. I'll add tags and probably add little paper bags that I pick up. I will end up adding so much to this onto signature number 2. Love the maps. Always pick up maps wherever you go. They are an absolute blessing in any journal. They really are. I also think when you're doing a Disney journal, a park map is really cool to be able to look back on. These are going to be slightly outdated now. These were from 50, Walt Disney World 50. So yeah, the 50th anniversary. But I can always add some new ones in. Oh, I added the ribbon there just to cover up the little bit of the split pin there. I am so happy with this. Really happy. I really hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it inspires you to go and create your own journal. I think it can feel quite intimidating when you start, but then you get into it and it's not that difficult at all. There we go. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I look forward to coming back off our trip and creating in this beautiful journal. I'm so pleased with it. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye.